Hey, this is Rob. 669 days until I turn 30. Let's go ahead and get the check-in out of the way. Um, Today I weighed in at 257.6 pounds. That's a change of losing 2.1 pounds. Keep in mind, though, that there's all manner of things passing through your body at all times, so I did not necessarily lose 2.1 pounds of actual fat in that 2.1 pounds. And for the word count, I added 1,432 words to my total, bringing me over 10,000 words in my document now. So that I thought was a great reason to celebrate with a number that's only significant because we live in a world of base 10 mathematics. But all the same, even though I didn't get particularly many words, I did cross that threshold. And they were fun words to write, too. I was actually kind of doing a second pass on some of my existing chapters and doing some edits that some people had suggested on them. So I got to do cool things like that and think up the names of really cool fantasy weapons like Titan Gavel, the Maul of Justice. So that was pretty neat. That was a lot of fun. Today's topic is victory, defeat, and the story. I thought this was a good topic to go over, with the Olympics going on right now, that as we watch the Olympics, everything we're seeing is presented in the form of the story. The story is kind of what the human mind craves to bring order to the chaos that is our lives every day. McKayla Maroney's pair of vaults, one that was absolutely jaw-droppingly perfect, and one that ended up kind of wiping out at the end and pushing her from a clear gold into a clear silver. Those are both very much the story kind of moments. Michael Phelps, who I'm convinced at this point is half man, half shark, and that once he jumps in the water, if he stops swimming, he'll die. His absurd collection of medals that he gets to stand up with and look like he's wearing, like Flava Flav bling all over his chest, is very much also the story. And the difference between the story and what's actually happening is that while the story is very entertaining, the story is not the whole picture. These people, McKayla and Michael Phelps, they're both very successful because they treat success as a state of maintenance. They're getting up for years before these events every day and training really hard and drilling and drilling and drilling and getting these motions and these things down like clockwork. So even when something happens, like McKayla's wipeout that took her out of gold medal position, even though after the Olympics she kind of fades from our memory and fades from our public consciousness, she's ultimately out somewhere living, going back to work on her gymnastics, preparing for the next world championship of this, that, or the other, and moving on because she's got to look forward to the next medal, and she's got to maintain her level of professionalism and skill in gymnastics to keep getting those story moments. So, that said, the kind of thing that I wanted you guys to think about today was, is there anything that you've let feel like defeat because the moment of the story was a defeat? Is there anything you could go back to that you've put aside because you felt defeated that you might do better at once you look at it as there are ups, there are downs, but ultimately going back to and getting back to work on the things that you were defeated in can drive you back up towards success. Even if some individual event was a failure and you can never recover that individual moment of success, you can still go back and be successful if you treat success like those people do. That it's a state of maintenance that you have to do upkeep on and that you have to work at all the time. As I'm writing these books, I think to myself, well, this book, I'm only on the first one, but I think to myself about how at some point, I'm going to be putting that first book on the market, and when that day comes, I might take a weekend off or maybe a week off of vacation to reward myself, But after that, while that book's selling, if I want to be a successful author, I'm going to have to be outlining the next book shortly after that first book gets to market, because I need to maintain my practice and my momentum as a writer to be a successful writer. So that's something to think about. If you'd like to share anything about things you might be able to take on if you break out of that story perspective and face them as success maintenance, as something to keep plowing away at, feel free to share them in the comments below. Also, please do like and share if you enjoyed this. It helps me reach out to more people, and if you thought this was inspiring, definitely give them a way to see it and be inspired by it too. I think that's everything for today, once again, so thanks for joining me. Next week, and I waited to do this topic because I wanted to announce it on a week where I had really good weight loss results that week. Next week's topic will be the diet episode, where I'll kind of tell you what I've been doing to lose the weight I've been losing, and let you have some insight into how I'm living to start trimming off these pounds, because I'm closing in on 15 pounds down since I started on June 16th dieting. So look forward to that, and I think it'll be a highly viewed episode if I keep up on these. I think people kind of want to take a look at that, provided I end up 180 pounds at some point. That'll be pretty cool. Thanks again for viewing, and I will see you guys on Monday.